metric you look at to know if you're having a successful offense? Obviously points, but beyond that,
Points would be a good start.
points is a good start. What do you look at when you try to?
You can look at 1,000 things, but
What do you look at?
I think at the end of the day, what you're trying to do is make sure that you're doing things you need to do to win ball games. And if you look at the NCAA as a whole, or if you look at the Big Ten Conference, and certainly we've done studies and we've looked at all that information. Some of the things are pretty obvious. What's important? Points is one thing that's important. Scoring offense. You want to talk about winning critical situations, whether it's in the red area, whether it's third downs, or sometimes turnovers can be a misleading statistic. Obviously, it's important to have a good turnover margin. Field or time of possession has been one thing that's kind of come up, throughout probably the history of the game is something that's critical. When you actually look at the numbers, it's not always as critical as you think. So I really think that a lot of it has to do with the ball game you're playing in and the team you're playing against. And you're going to play in certain games where certainly points are at a premium. You're playing other games where field position's at a premium. You're going to play in other games where time of possession is at a premium. But you're trying to balance all those things. So I think when you look at the end of the year, it's difficult to just point to one thing and say, hey, this is the be-all, end-all. And this is going to sound cliched. I know this is no fun to write about, but at the end of the day, the number one metric we're looking at to figure out if we're, where we need to be offensively is, are we winning games or are we losing them? And our job is to play complementary football. Like I said, each game's a little bit different, but certainly, I think if you had to pick one thing, scoring offense is pretty important. Just like I think the inverse of that, scoring defense is much more important than the yards you're giving up.